Mofe Duncan isn't just smooth on screen. He's sharp with the pen too. Actor, writer, all-around creative with a voice that holds weight. From romantic leads to thought-provoking roles, he always brings depth. He's not just performing, he's telling stories his way. This is Tem Talks with the multi-talented Mofe Duncan.
The crowd goes wild.
Wow, yes.
This is nice.
Just as an icebreaker, we have some dilemmas. Dear Daddy, because dear father, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, so, dear Daddy, I borrowed money from my wife to support my business. Now she wants to be involved in the decisions. Is that fair or is she overstepping?
She has earned the right to interfere.
Really?
I think so. Unless they're creative interferences, where otherwise she's trying to help the business. But otherwise, sit down and be quiet.
Sit down and be quiet. That's the advice, yeah? Sounds good. Okay, so we'll go into the questions.
Okay.
So,
I feel nervous now.
You do? No, you don't. Dear Father touches on legacy, family, and hidden truths. What part of the story resonated with you the most, either personally or professionally?
Okay, personally, on a personal term, I grew up with a very military father. A lot of discipline there. My dad was like way older than I was. He is still alive. So not only was he a dad, he was like a grandfather to me as well.
Okay.
So while my friends were getting games like, Ataris and Nintendos, my father was buying me Scrabble and Monopoly and Sudoku books, So it's a bit of a dilemma. It's a bit of a thing for me where I see the character played by RMD having so much impact on his daughter. And I felt like my dad also had that lot of impact on me. Really?
And so you've used, when you're directing RMD as like the father figure, are you channeling parts of your father too?
Yeah, I can relate. I can relate to, me insisting not wanting to be a doctor, and that was a lot growing up for my dad, because my dad's professor of medicine, and that whole resistance, and especially when RMD expresses the pain that he goes through trying to forge his daughter in a certain way, and I'm like, Dad, like if I was a doctor now, I'd be doing this, so sit down, Dad. But yeah, it's cool. But I must say though, the story of the dear father resonates between both RMD and Kunle.
Yes.
You figure that out.
Yes.
It's a relationship between RMD and his daughter, and then Kunle's daughter and him. So yeah, so it's a two-way thing.
That's amazing. And how is your work with the play, Dear Father? How has that stretched you in ways that perhaps TV work hasn't?
It's been brilliant. So I find more gratification from directing than even I do acting, and that's so weird because I've been acting for 19 years. Yeah. But I find that I feel more justification, I feel happier as a person. And also being on this project, directing a stage play, it's been refreshing, I'm working close with Uncle T, Tony Yoshinaike, and he's been great, Even though I know that a lot of actors are like, Mofe has not done stage before, how's he directing us? But I've got the muscle memory. Yeah. I've been in 3 stage plays. I've taken instructions from other directors who directed me, and I feel like I have a lot to give out, and my input is very obvious, very, very obvious.
I love that. So as someone in the Nigerian media and entertainment industry, what kind of stories are you hungry to tell?
Right, first of all, this is me, and they're probably going to beat me up for it, but I think I'm tired of love stories in Nollywood.
Oh, do you know what? It says, what are you tired of seeing?
I'm tired of seeing love stories in Nollywood. I feel like a good story can be an intense moment in the lives of people over a 2-3 day period. It doesn't have to be 1 month later, 1 year later. If the story doesn't go that way. I want more topics and more films that have to do with like social, economic issues, relationship between father and daughter, son and daughter, all those dynamics that we did growing up. You know what I mean? Yes, love stories are nice, but there's so many other stories that we can tell in Nigeria, in Africa. It doesn't have to be always a love story, Like for instance, Frozen, the animation, is a love story for siblings. Yes. It's a sibling love story. And you have a sibling, right? There's times when you want to wring their neck for something, and that is an entirely beautiful story, how you guys forge that dynamics. So I feel like we wanted to see more stories that express our culture, not only selling love. Yes, please sell your love, I get it, but we can also sell other things. There are stories that we can do from, work relationships, to individuals and how they navigate certain people. I'm writing a story now called 40 Forever, and it's two best friends. One is 39, one is 42. And the movie starts on his 39th birthday, and he's terrified of being 40.
Yeah.
And the guy that's 42 is like, what are you talking about? 40 is the best.
Yeah,
it's the
best
best. It's the best time to be alive. So how they sort out that whole dynamic is a beautiful story.
Yeah. It's
not a love story, but it's a love story for the age. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. And I like when I speak with directors or people in the film and TV industry, what have you been watching recently that you just saw and you're like, wow, I wish I could have been a part of this?
Oh my gosh. So I picked up, are we allowed to call other streaming platforms?
Yeah.
Right, cool. So there's a show on Netflix called Department Q.
Ooh.
It's brilliant, and it's such good storytelling, such good directing.
Yeah.
And there's a story about a detective who goes through a life-changing experience, and he's literally bottom of the patch in his department, but he's taking that position to have a huge impact on the whole society. And I feel like it's such an underdog story, and it's beautifully written with dialogue and interpretations. That kind of stuff I like. I also end up watching a lot of true crime documentaries.
Ooh.
And history documentaries.
Me too. I love that. That's so exciting. What did you call it? Department Q?
Yeah, Department Q.
Department Q. I'll check that out.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is something that you've learned or unlearned about yourself while preparing for this project?
Wow, I had more patience than I thought I did.
Really?
Absolutely. Patience, of course. I've also learned that sometimes when you're doing a production, right, it's one ship, right? One department can't fit. You know what I mean? And it's something that you feel like, wow, wasn't that obvious? No, it's very, very key in anything you're doing. One department can fail, because if one part fails, it sends a ripple across the entire ship.
That's what you learned?
Yes, what I've unlearned is I think that, at my age, my 42-year-old knee cannot really take a lot of stage movements. So I'm very happy sitting, on the other side and directing, which is good. I think that's another thing.
Okay, thank you. And finally, what would you say to young creators watching this, the ones dreaming of being part of Nollywood? What advice would you give them in terms of starting out?
Research, review, results. So research what you're doing. If you're going to be a camera person, if you're going to be an editor, if you're going to be anything, research. And research the industry that you're getting yourself into.
Yeah.
All right? What's the other one I did?
Results.
Results is the last one. Sorry, review. Sorry, short-term memory. Yeah, but basically research what you're doing.
Yeah.
People just step into the industry without knowing the field they're going into.
Yeah.
What it takes physically. I mean, I've had someone say they want to be an actor, and I'm like, okay, so who's your favorite Oscar award-winning actor? And she goes, what are the Oscars? Like, how am I supposed to help you?
Yeah.
If you don't know where you're supposed to attain to.
Yes.
Exactly. So research is your first thing. Don't just jump into it because, oh my God, yeah, everybody's not doing content, I'm an influencer. No, research. All right? Research where you're going. Research who you need to talk to. Research what you want to be. And that, I think, should be the first thing you should do.
Okay. And then you said review.
Review, yeah. So when you're done with your research, you need to review it. So I say taking steps every I'd say 5 years. Sit down and review. What have I done? What is the progress? Where can I make it better? What's happening in the time now? What is going on now? Are people still using certain cameras? Are people still doing certain shows? Are people still talking about this? What is the review? Who is the best in this and why? And then, of course, results. So basically, that is the impact of what you've done. You sit down, you watch it, you ask people, you say, okay, hi, I watched this film, I just did this film. How was it? What can I change better? Results.
Thank you so much. We're looking forward to seeing the play tomorrow.
Yes.
We can't wait.
Neither can I. It's been a really good ride. And thank you for coming here.
Thank you for having us.
Talks.
Thank you.